In the silence of the night, while the stars were twinkling, little Can was sleeping soundly in his bed. But his tiny heart began to race that night with a strange dream. In his dream, he saw the mischiefs he had done during the day: unplugging the fridge, cutting in line at school during lunch, pulling the cat's tail, picking flowers from the neighbor's garden without permission, narrowly avoiding hitting a dog sleeping in the street while carelessly riding his bike, breaking the neighbor's window while playing ball, scribbling in his sister's homework notebook, and instead of tidying his room, throwing all his toys on the floor. At first, it seemed fun, until he began to feel that something was wrong after each mischief in the dream. His mother's eyes filled with disappointment, his sister's angry face, his father's stern look, his grandfather's sad expression, and his family members scolding him for his naughtiness. All this caused an uneasiness to grow inside him. The uneasiness grew, and when it became unbearable, he suddenly opened his eyes and woke up from the dream, drenched in sweat. Can woke up in his bed covered in sweat, his heart beating fast as he looked around. Oh, it was all just a dream, he thought, but that feeling of sadness was still inside him. Could the things he saw in his dream be things he didn't really want to do? Or were there moments deep inside him when he thought, I wish I hadn't done those things? Ken sat up in his bed with that strange feeling of sadness from his dream. A tiny drop of sweat on his forehead, and only one word in his mind: karma. Where had he heard that word anyway? What does that even mean? He wondered curiously. He immediately grabbed the tablet he had hidden under his pillow and quickly swiped his finger across the screen. He typed karma into the search bar. A few seconds later, he mumbled the definition that appeared. The idea that good deeds bring goodness and bad deeds bring bad outcomes in return. His eyes widened in shock. The uneasiness he had felt after each mischief in his dream was now starting to make sense. Could that sadness be a warning whispered to him by karma? Ken slowly closed his tablet and looked out the window. The sun was rising, birds were chirping. A slight excitement blossomed inside him. Maybe today was the day to test karma. That morning, Ken made himself a promise. If even my dreams are upsetting me, then it must mean I want to be a good person in real life. Ken had fallen under the spell of the word karma he had just learned. It was as if a brand new window had opened in his life. He ran to his desk, took out his colored pens, and at the top of the first page of a notebook he had never used, he wrote in big letters, "My karma list," and underneath he wrote, "I will correct my mistakes, win hearts, and in return, the universe will send me good things." Then he began to write the first item on his karma list. Item 1. I will tidy up my room, which I always mess up and never clean, and I will help my mom prepare breakfast every morning. Who knows? Maybe the good deeds will come one after another, like a rainbow. And so, he started to add all his past mischiefs and wrongdoings to his karma list, one by one. Over time, he would correct each wrong and mischief on that list, and step by step become an honest and good person. Yes, now it was time to take action. His first task was to clean and tidy up his messy room. He organized his desk neatly. He collected all the scattered toys and put them in boxes. He folded his clothes and carefully placed them in the wardrobe. He placed the scattered books back onto the shelves of his bookshelf. He made his bed something he had never done before. He took the trash from the bin with its bag, tied it nicely, and placed a new trash bag in the bin. Finally, when he turned back to look at his room before leaving, he saw a bright, clean, and organized space, and he felt great happiness from what he had done. He promised himself to always keep his room neat and tidy from now on. Now it was time to prepare the breakfast table. Ken quietly moved to the kitchen and started to set the breakfast table just the way his mom would. He boiled the eggs, brewed the tea, toasted the bread, took out the breakfast foods from the fridge, and carefully placed everything nicely on the table. Meanwhile, his mom, awakened by the sounds coming from the kitchen, started walking curiously towards the kitchen to see what was going on. As she passed by Ken's room, her eyes caught the open door, and she peeked inside. She couldn't believe what she saw. Was this really her son's room? She walked in and stood in amazement, looking at the neat and tidy state of the room. Still unable to shake off her surprise, she slowly continued toward the kitchen. Ken, having finished all his preparations, was now hiding behind the kitchen door, waiting for his mother to come in. When his mother entered the kitchen, she was in for a huge surprise. She couldn't believe her eyes. When she saw that the breakfast table was prepared, and especially that it was Ken who had done it, she felt immense happiness. Emotional, she hugged Ken lovingly. Ken was also emotional. This thoughtful and kind gesture brought happiness to the whole family. They all had a beautiful breakfast together. The other family members were also amazed and deeply touched by the situation, and they all hugged each other with love. And thus, Ken had successfully fulfilled the first item on his karma list, bringing great joy to both his family and himself. From now on, Ken would continue to fulfill the other items on his list, one by one. Yes, friends, let's see which item Ken will complete next on his karma list. Let's watch and find out together. See you in the next video. Stay with love, stay with happiness,